young lady Miss Brown who's going for this gig for the SCOTUS Supreme Court of the United States, supremely qualified. The Republicans decide they want to sit up here. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. GOPers are gonna do what they're gonna do, and they're gonna sit up here and try to pull out. And I got so tired of hearing all these. It was all these beautiful soliloquies by all of the Democrats and telling how great she was and Cory Booker and everybody. And then, so what do you think about pedophiles?
Yeah, but it was ridiculous on both sides. And a little history about the
Ain't gonna be no both sides isms over here. Go ahead. I'm just joking.
Wow, that just came out of left field. I didn't even say nothing yet. Okay,
I'm just messaging you. Go ahead.
But just to give y'all some background, that there was no such thing as a SCOTUS hearing until the Supreme Court nominated its first Jewish Supreme Court justice. That's when all of a sudden now we have to have a hearing where we all get to ask ignorant questions for absolutely no reason. Ignorant questions.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Marsha Blackburn asking her, is this some kind of hidden agenda to get critical race theory into the Constitution? It was something about it being a law. And as a Black woman, and I know this as a professional, we are not allowed to say, bitch, are you serious?
She gave that look a whole lot.
Because she had to, because again, as Black women, as women in general, we're not allowed to pull a Kavanaugh where we're like foaming at the mouth and acting like a crazy person and yelling and turning red as a tomato for no reason. We aren't allowed to do that. We have to sit there composed and smile and answer your questions.
Yeah, they can't wild out like Kavanaugh did, or the other. What's the other one? The woman who just got confirmed under Trump. You know, he put 3 in there. Barrett, was it Coney Barrett? I think it was her name, Coney Barrett.
Little Miss Handmaid's Tale. What was her name? Yes, Amy Coney Barrett, who has very few requirements. She's never been a judge before. She didn't go to an Ivy League school. I think she only really meets 2 requirements to be on the Supreme Court compared to Ketanji. Am I saying her name right?
I hope so. If not, somebody gonna let us know, because when I was messing up our vice president's name for a while and y'all was on me. So I hope you said it wrong, because I want to hear the comments. I want people to get on your back.
Okay, so Judge Brown, isn't her last name Brown? Judge Brown, that's what we're safe. Has 7 out of the 9 requirements. She's actually the most qualified person to be a Supreme Court judge. So.
Yeah, I hear that's our story. We're always overqualified. We're always supremely qualified for these roles, because we wouldn't even be considered for these roles if we weren't. So we pretty much could chalk that up. She's yelled and she's done the appeals court, and she's just the bomb.
She's been a prosecutor. She's been a defense attorney. She's clerk for the Supreme Court. She went to an Ivy League school, but also went to a public high school.
Right.
She also was on the appeals court. She has been a circuit court judge, and there was one other thing I'm missing, but she's done
all of that.
Most of the things.
All of the things, all of the things. And so, to sit up here and look at Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is checking his Twitter mentions while it's going on, because he's like, okay, I got her.
Okay, let's talk about what he brought up. He actually brought up the book Anti-Racist Baby, which I thought was a joke. I thought that was some book that he had made up. Like, hey, what if I wrote a book called Anti-Racist Baby? Come to find out, Anti-Racist Baby is a real book.
It is a real book.
There we go. Anti-Racist Baby by Dr. Ibram X. Kendi.
That's right.
The funny thing, once he started mentioning Anti-Racist Baby, and this book came out 2 years ago, It is out now, the #1 best-selling child's book on Amazon. Everybody was like,
yay, Black people, yay, allies. Hey, yay for people just want to piss Ted Cruz off. Like, really? Yeah, I mean, it's like now it's just so acceptable in conservative spaces. You can't say anything to them about racism. Racism to them is just a thing of the past. Like, get over it.
Yeah, and also another thing that he said that was so weird, and he wanted to get her opinion about it. He's like, well, I'm Hispanic, but if I wanted to say I was an Asian man, it was something having to do with being able to switch race, like you can like a trans person. And I know she wanted to say that has nothing to do with what the Supreme Court justice does, because it doesn't. His question was it was just like they were all looking for really good sound bites. Cory Booker included. Negro, I see you. And I said Negro, not the N-word. I see you, Cory Booker. We see you. We know you just did a little speech because it's going to make you look good for the Black community when you try to run again. Boy, we are not voting for you. Stop it. You're a vegan. That's creepy. No.
Why you not voting for the man? Because he don't eat meat. Come on,
If you
man.
don't eat meat, I don't trust you. If you don't eat pork, that's cool. But if you don't eat meat, I can't trust you.
Cory Booker, but you say what you want to say. Cory Booker is running for somebody's office here pretty soon. Somebody more important office in New Jersey.
Not with them childbearing hips. No, thank you.
We're not going there with Cory Booker today. We're not.
He's so badly built.
And you know, funny thing, he's a football player. You know, he played football.
Where? At H. Jemima College? Like, where?
Cory Booker played tight end for Stanford.
Tight end.
All right, next up. Continuing along the SCOTUS realm, I just had to find a nice flick of Lindsey Graham with his yellow teeth looking very angry because that's pretty much what he does.
Did he get those teeth from Washington himself?
I think so. I think he dug up George Washington, and yes, I believe that's the case because this guy, man, I don't know, dude. I just sit back and my understanding is that when she got appointed to the Court of Appeals, he voted for her.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so now, a year later, now you have so many problems with the same information that you received and you voted for her last year or year before. Yes. Dude, he's such a hypocrite.
And he kind of got stopped by Representative Durbin when he was asking what she thought about Kavanaugh's hearing, when that doesn't have to do with anything we're talking about right now. Kavanaugh's hearing is completely different than her hearing because he actually was accused of a crime. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like, oh, you might not be good at your job or might not be this. He was accused of a crime, guys. So that's why his hearing was all over the place. She is not accused of a crime. And they tried to pull everything out of the woodwork. Miguel, I know we were just talking about her supporting pedophiles or letting pedophiles go.
Yeah, that was a reach. And then, of course, that's just like this common playbook. The playbook is always that Democrats are soft on crime. You know, you guys are want to let everybody out in the streets to run wild and all this garbage. And you sit back and just like, okay, man, okay, you guys need to come up with something new. Can you come up with something different? You know, but then there's a challenge of the internal issue because let's not act like we didn't have within the Black family. Here we go. The Black family got an issue with the fact that she's got a white husband. I could care less.
As someone not married to a Black man, I get it a little times too. Like, well, she's not married to a Black man. I tried dating y'all. Y'all didn't want me.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Okay, before we go down this road, what do you want to do today? Because each time I bring a hard topic up, you're like, we're not doing that today. It's the truth. You're not gonna tell me in all your years you dated dudes. You dated brothers. You know, it ain't like you ain't had no brothers in your world. You fell in love with my Guyanese brother, period, point blank, full stop. And there are Black men that I wanted to marry who didn't want to get married. And as somebody who understands how the biological clock works, I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I mean, I want to find somebody who wants to be with me. And it's so funny. Mm-hmm. It's okay when Black men do it rampantly. Y'all all in the NBA, NFL, all over the world. Y'all, the guy who gave all that money to Morehouse, he's married to a white woman. Oh, all the Black women should be supported for that. But when y'all get to talking about it's always the NBA, NFL, rich people. How about the average dudes? There's a lot of average dudes. Whole bunch of average brothers. Not married. My brother's not married to a Black woman. He's getting married to a Puerto Rican woman. Shout out to you, Gary. Love you. So she Black adjacent. She Puerto Rican. She Black adjacent. Oh, no, that's what we're doing. It's now Black adjacent. Okay, guys. So new rule. If they're that's actually not a new rule. That's kind of an old rule because Fat Joe out there shooting the N-word out all over the place, and he gets a pass. But it's funny you say that because I told my mom, she was asking me about Omar. I was like, he's Black adjacent. She's like, that's not a thing. That's not real. I was like, okay, Mom. But I'm just happy, even though she's not married to a Black man, I'm happy that she's happy. She has a great family. And watching her husband and daughter sit there, so proud of her. Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love to see it. You know, this picture warms my heart to see this young lady looking at her mom like, yo, that's my mom. No. Exactly.
I'm looking forward to it. You know, I think it's gonna move rather quickly. All this theater, this political theater has been going on. It is what it is. This is what they do.
And once
Mhm.
she gets hired, guys, and we all know Supreme Court is a lifetime appointmentship, she can't get fired. Wait until we hear news about her cussing everybody out in that room, going off on Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett coming to office like, well, Kachajane, I don't care how you feel. Please get your white butt out my office.
I don't think we'll ever really hit. She's gonna be class and grace personified. You know,
Oh, okay.
can we
All
talk?
right.
Can we talk about the other Supreme Court story this week?
Which one?
Clarence Thomas and his wife.
Oh,
Hey, if it's first time,
the
if you
saying should be
listen,
once you go white, you go to jail.
Life Full Circle, make sure y'all like, share, all that good stuff. You know, we want you to make sure you guys are following us, Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff. I'm trying to get better at this of telling people, hey, come hang out with us and put the word out. So if you're watching, hit that share button. We want to get some more people engaged in the conversation. So anyway, Jenny Thomas,
Yes.
who is
Mhm.
the wife of Clarence Thomas, who has been
Yes.
on the Supreme Court for over 30 years. My God.
Yes, I think it's 35 years
19,
now.
no, not that far, 1991. So close enough, 30,
Okay.
31 years. And his wife, which is not a surprise to anybody, she was sending messages to Mark Meadows, I believe his name is,
Yes.
who was
Mhm.
Trump's chief of staff, and basically trying to incite the insurrection
Yes.
and rolling over in the bed with Chubby every night, and can, you know, they're supposed to
Did you
get in
call him
front of him.
Chubby?
Huh?
Did you say hubby or chubby?
Oh no, I definitely didn't say hubby. No,
Sorry.
definitely, you know. So Chubby Thomas is over there, and he's got his wife over there, and she's over there baking her saltines and telling her about the insurrections. But this stuff has got to go in front of the Supreme Court here
Yes.
right now. There's a lot of people who's going to be going in front of him, and he's going to have to make a decision about these cases. And you know, but here's the thing: what I think we all understand right now, the Republicans don't give a beep. They don't care.
No.
They don't
They
care. It's a lifetime appointment. It's the reason why people on the left was so adamant about trying to get Hillary Clinton in the office, because we knew what was going to happen. Because the Democrats, and this is people can say, Democrats, they always want to be pragmatic about stuff. That's not really fair. Or should we increase the number of Supreme Court justices? Because once the ball starts rolling, then who knows? It may go from 9 to 13 to 17, and who knows when it's going to stop. The first chance the Republicans get a chance to increase that doggone Supreme Court, if they get behind in the numbers, they gonna do it. But the Democrats, we got to think about this. So now you're in a situation where you're at a 6-3 deficit. You had to get my man, I think Justice Breyer, to retire early, because if not, you know what I mean? Who knows? Because there's no guarantee that Joe Biden will be reelected. And I'm still not convinced that this country is ready to elect a black woman as president. And so now you had that situation where in 2
That
years,
old girl from Georgia, if that's what you're gonna bring up. I can't think of her name. It escapes me right now.
yeah, Stacey Abrams. We'll see. Stacey Abrams is going to win this governor's seat. I believe she'll win this
That's
governor's
great.
seat.
Can she please stay as governor, not try to run for president? Because I am not ready to take up arms and fight for Stacey Abrams. Because we were just talking about this on Mocha on the other show that I work with, guys, that she is. I hate to say it, this is going to sound so messed up. She is a black woman who's proud of being black. She's got natural hair. She's kind of big, and she kind of got an attitude. They are going to run roughshod over her with the negative attacks and inappropriate stuff. And now, as black women, we are really going to have to go hard for her. Like, they're kind of mean to Kamala, but I think with Stacey, it's going to be some next level stuff. And now I got to fight in the Target, and I don't want to be fighting in the Target.
Well, we'll worry about Stacey Abrams here in Georgia. We got that challenge here in Georgia. As far as Kamala Harris goes,
she sucks.
why does Kamala Harris suck? Tell me why she
sucks.
What?
Let's stick to what we were talking about, the judge stuff, and then we'll move on to spring break, because Kamala's a whole different mountain that we have to climb.
Okay. We may have to spend some more time on Kamala, because I don't get why people don't like Kamala. And Kamala ain't even done much of like or dislike since she's been been vice president, because she's been quiet as a church mouse.
Well,
Uh,
she laughs and smokes at smirks at really inappropriate times when she shouldn't at interviews, and it looks really tacky.
well, she can't help herself there because she seems like she's somewhat socially awkward. So that's part of her challenge.
All
But
right.
but anyway, all right. So as we were talking about, because we kind of flew by your
Judge
Republican,
Brown.
we were
Oh, no,
talking
no, we were
about
talking about Judge
we're
Thomas
talking about
and
Judge
Jenny.
Thomas and Jenny Thomas, and there's conversation around whether or not she's going to get impeached. He's going to get impeached. Excuse me. I don't see it happening
No.
because you got to have too much Republican support to impeach him. I don't see that happening. But it's going to be interesting with this continued trial that's coming up with these January 6th insurrectionists and how that's going to be handled. All this stuff is political
He
theater.
has to recuse himself. And I see where the confusion is with an issue like this because this has
Mhm.
never happened before. It's not like they said, well, last time some of this happened, we did this. No, this has
Right.
never happened in the history of America
Yeah.
and the history of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Now we have a Supreme Court justice wife who's involved with this, and
Yeah.
we're supposed to know what to do. It's just, I get where the hardship is for him and them and everybody. It's just a really jacked up situation because you would never think a Supreme Court justice's wife involved in the insurrection of the United States. On what planet? Do we live in the multiverse? Like this shouldn't be happening.
We are in it. A lot of this stuff, we think this stuff is all old, and this stuff is not old, right? Our nation is 200 and what? How old is our nation now? 220 years old, whatever the number is.
It's old.
It's old, but it's not. It's not old in comparison to world nations. It's not old in comparison to China, right?
Nope.
So when you start talking about what are we supposed to do in these situations, stuff we've never seen before. Yes, we've never seen people try to storm our capital.
No.
Other nations have seen it. And so now you got a system in place that, where these people are lifetime appointed, and they're sitting back, and Clarence Thomas says, my wife who's sitting right here with me every day, she's supporting these nut jobs. I've been pretty much quiet. I don't even speak up when it comes down to anything.
Never.
And now you're bringing me into the forefront of this conversation. But I
Do
really
they have
don't.
children, by the way?
Yeah, it's interesting you brought that up because the one time the one time that he recused himself in a case was with VMI in 1996. His son was a student at VMI at the time. And they were trying to, at that point, VMI was an all-male school, did not allow women into school at all. And so that went before the Supreme Court. He recused himself in that situation because his son was a student there. So, yes, he at least has that son. Does he have any other kids? I don't know. I don't care. But I know in that situation, he does at least have that one son. So, so we'll keep an eye on this thing. But all right, so let's move on. You want to talk about, let's switch gears. That's what we do. Spring break. Do I need to get some? Well, I wish I had some Luther Campbell I could play real quick. So they out there acting the fool. What's going on spring break in Miami?
I mean, there has been a shooting where, here's the thing. So the kids from spring break, half these kids, I don't even think they're actually in college. It's just spring break time. So they all go down to Miami and they're acting a fool. There have been shootings. There have been multiple incidents. There have been people, of course, running out on their tabs at restaurants, people twerking in the streets. It's become a real menace to Miami Beach.
Well, that's pretty normal. People run out on tabs.
And everybody keeps saying that it's normal. Okay.
That's pretty, it's ignorant, but it's pretty normal.
Well, it was ignorant with the maybe jumping out on your tab, maybe, and twerking in the street. I could say that's ignorant. But now that we have shootings and 5 people injured,
that's
and not even having the police officers being a deterrent because a cop was standing maybe 15 feet away talking to just having regular conversation with kids to let them know we want you guys to be safe, a shooting pops off. So I have to ask you, like I just said at the top of the show, Miguel and I are a generation, not like two. We're just one generation wing of college. When you went on spring break, even if you were piling up in a car with 5 people, y'all had to share gas money, share a hotel room. You all made sure you were the most respectful out in public because you guys wanted girls to like you, want to date you,
right,
and all that stuff. Am I right?
Of course, yeah. No, we but that was my crew. I knew some ignorant ass dudes. I did. I did. Like I knew some women who I would sit over there and I would spectate and look over there and be like, I would never date you. I would never bring you home to grandma. You know, it's but to
Okay,
your
so wait,
point.
so even me,
Uh-huh.
me and Miguel are a generation
Mhm.
away. My girls, we going to Miami Beach. We piling up in the car, sharing a hotel room, but it was our main goal. Twerking in the middle of the street, we would never. We
I
always
never.
wanted to make it look like we were fly, we were respectable, we were the
Yeah.
good girls from fan. And most of the kids in my generation, when we went on spring break, that's what it was.
Right.
How did it turn into, oh, we're shooting up, we're fighting in the street, we're twerking. And then some spring breakers would say, oh, that's the locals. The locals don't go to the beach. Because the history of
Yeah.
Miami, the locals don't go to the beach. I have family who lives in Miami for years. They don't go to the beach. They never have because Miami Beach is racist. So they don't go down there.
Yeah. We
So
had a,
it's just
we had a situation, and here's the thing. This actually only difference I say between our generation and this generation is that there's cameras on now, a lot more. There was a lot of
yes.
ignorance. I can go back to remembering, dodging bullets when I was in my 20s, teens and 20s, because dudes gets out there and they want to pop off and they want to wild out. I always say I'm glad there were no cameras rolling when I was in my teen. Now, like I said, I never was, and people watching the show, people know me from VA. They know, got my VA shirt on today. People know that, yes, if you look up, it's fly. So anyway, people know me from VA. They know that wasn't my steez. I was always blessed that anytime I might have been at that party when cats was about to wild out, but I had that radar. It was like, all right,
Yeah,
that
that
radar,
spidey sense.
that spidey sense was like, hey yo, we out. And I had the keys. Everybody was riding in my car anyway. So if I said we was out, we out. I'm the big 6'3", black dude that everybody can see, play ball in the city, so everybody know me. So when it starts to wild out, hey, we out. Because I can
We
see
out.
they over there about to wild out. But, it's really one of them things now that, the social aspects of it. It's funny. Saran, I remember her freshman year at Clark, she came home for homecoming weekend. And I literally looked at her like, yo, what are you doing here? It's
Like, why are you
homecoming.
here?
Why are you here? It's homecoming weekend. You're a freshman. Why are you here? And she was just like, Dad, they in our room, my roommates, they wilding out. I was like, all right, baby, go ahead up to your room, do what you gonna do.
And that makes sense to me. If you're not about it, you're not about it. But
Yeah,
with the Miami Beach thing, it's like I don't know. I don't know if it's Instagram wanting to go viral for doing something stupid. I don't
yeah,
understand what it is.
yeah,
It's just like running out of your tab in a restaurant. I guess maybe
yeah.
I would never do that.
I wouldn't either,
But
but
like,
it's ignorant stuff. That's not unusual.
and that's just ignorant. And
It's
ignorant is
ignorant.
fine.
Yeah,
But when y'all start doing crazy, like the shooting and the
yeah,
fighting,
yeah.
so much so that Miami Beach had to shut down and do a curfew. No alcohol after 6. Nobody out on the streets
Wow.
after sundown.
Well,
And
that
I know it was like,
sucks.
a lot of the black people are like, oh, that's so racist. That's so this. Well, it's the black community who is doing this. And guys, Life Full Circle rides for our community hardcore. But when y'all are out here shooting,
Yeah.
then we gotta go. All right, well, y'all
Nah,
out here shooting.
y'all out here shooting. They out here shooting. So that means that now, whatever the consequences are, you out there with that dirty gun and you done popped off. The cops gonna run up on you. I don't want no T-shirts with your name on it, talking about we need to go protesting for you. Nope, you was acting ignorant.
And I feel bad, and I know you probably agree. Feel bad for the Miami residents. I paid $2 million for this condo, and I can't even go downstairs to go get dinner.
So are they really say? I don't know. I don't really know the market. So I would assume that if the police are anywhere, they got them like, okay, y'all can go that way, but y'all can't go up on this street. Y'all go down
I'm
that
not
way.
sure how they have it set up.
Yeah,
I'm really
'cause
not sure how they're.
there's a history behind Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach, not long after Freaknik, and it might have been before Freaknik. It was before Freaknik because this is about 88, 89. Virginia Beach used to be about it. It used to be, yeah, it used to be live because you just got so many HBCUs that are within 2 to 3 hour drive to Virginia Beach.
I can see that.
And so, yeah, I'm talking about this 14 HBCUs in North Carolina. There's another, it's a whole crap load of HBCUs and black colleges in the area. So it was wild. It was that year, Virginia Beach, it was off the chain. And since 1988, there has been no major festivals for black folk at Virginia Beach. Now, Pharrell just started this Something in the Water festival about 2 years ago. Haven't been home. I heard it was off the chain. But then come right behind that, some incident happened with his cousin because Pharrell's from Virginia Beach, and his cousin either got killed or hurt or something, and police didn't do anything about it. And Pharrell had so much influence. We can look that up. Pharrell had so much influence that he pulled the whole festival from the city of Virginia Beach. And now there's a major uproar about that because you want to talk about a multi-million-dollar. When he did something in the water, this is Pharrell. People don't understand.
No.
People look at Pharrell like he's this global icon. He is. He's still very active in the Virginia Beach market. And so they lost a whole lot of money with that.
You know what I realized? It's not black people. It's this 25 and up crowd. Because Miami don't have no issue when Jazz in the Gardens comes down there. Have you ever heard of there being a shooting or a fight at Jazz in the Gardens? No. Curl Festival? No. There's all these other big black festivals.
What's the Curl Festival?
Oh, darling, we have to go to the Curl Festival. Me, you, the kids, Omar. His hair's kind of curly. It's fine. Tracy, we're all going to go. Curl Festival is like a soul festival, but it's really, it started off being a natural hair like party.
See, I hear curl, I think Jerry Curl. That's what I was like, okay.
Okay, when you think curl, think I don't have a perm. My hair
so
is like
natural hair. Okay, all right.
Yes,
okay.
It's like that, but like a soul festival. It's like a big black love. Beautiful black couples come. They have people come perform, but it's not like the baby crowd. It's not the Doja Cat crowd. It's the Jill Scott crowd. Like that's what I'm saying. Where it's not. Again, I think my age group might be the youngest to still be acting right.
That's about right, but that makes sense. but that makes sense, right? Because y'all grown. See, here's what happens. When you get mortgages and you got kids, right? You think twice about all that, everything, all that wilding out in the club and all this making like, hold on. I get in this club and I act up, and then I can get into jail and I gotta get bailed out. There's so many dope boys out here who are in the house right now buying real estate, and they sit up here like, man, I ain't going popping no more bottles. I'm not popping no more bottles. I'm good.
Because when we bought the house, at our old house when we were renting with my husband, he used to be the fun house. So the guys would come over and play cards in the garage. Once we got this house, he was like, nah, y'all can't come here. Y'all can't come here.
Yo,
I'll meet y'all somewhere.
Yeah, you get real choosy about everything. Because here's the other thing that happens. Is that now he gotta come to you and be like, can the guys come over just out of respect? And all y'all out there fronting, all y'all brothers out there fronting, like, man, I ain't gotta check with my wife about nothing.
You're lying.
Use a lie. Use a lie. Okay, so Dijon's getting us a little insight on what happened with Pharrell. She said his cousin did get killed, Pharrell, and so and she said all 7 cities hotels were sold out, which is not a surprise to me. No, but believe me, it was huge. She's talking about and all of this stuff is stuff that I read. I just couldn't bring it up top of my head. Thank you, Dijon, for bringing $20 million in revenue in the 75-7, which let me tell you how big a deal that is. Our football games, the college games don't sell out. The only big festival, there's a couple big festivals. One, the Hampton Jazz Festival has been in Hampton, Virginia forever. When I say ever, it got to be 50, 60, 70 years. My dad went to it back when he was in his 20s. So this Something in the Water was a huge deal. That he had 2 days of festivals where everybody was there. You name it. DaBaby, a whole bunch of artists, I don't know their names, and they was headlining, and everybody was coming, black, white, whatever, skateboarders, all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, y'all don't want to do something about this man. First of all, you need to do something about anybody's situation. You need to pay attention to anybody's situation, somebody's killed, investigate the murders, find out the killers. But this is Pharrell Williams. You trying to tell me that Pharrell Williams has an issue, someone who just brought $20 million in revenue to the bottom line, and you don't want to do something and appease him and try to make his family feel good about whatever's happened? You can't fix it. He's lost his family. But at least try. And the city of Virginia Beach said, nah, we good. But see, Virginia is interesting because Virginia's a Commonwealth state. Taxes are out there. Virginia don't need this type of stuff in their minds.
It's also a sundown state.
No.
Well, it used to be a sundown state. The reason why I say that is because all these places that used to be sundown states, no matter what they say, they still don't care about Black lives. It doesn't matter.
You get west of Richmond. I can't speak for west of Richmond, but I know how Virginia's set up. Virginia's a triangle. All of us up and down the east coast of Virginia, you can come bring that smoke if you want. you might come back with a nub. But you go west of of Richmond, then all bets are off. That's Charlottesville and Roanoke and all that's out there west. We can't claim that. But Hampton Roads, Newport News, Richmond, all that going up to DC, no, we not playing that. All that sundown crap, we're gonna do what we want.
Well,
Anyway,
I'm from Florida and Miami Beach, and again, like I said, Miami Beach with what the issue is was hugely racist back in the day. Just like saying any city in Florida with a beach was hugely racist, and none of the black people were. Let's just go to the beach. You couldn't go to the beach. That's not how this works. I mean,
well, I'm not gonna sit up here.
Overtown. Yeah, like you could be performing in Miami Beach, and then you had to stay in Overtown and just commute back and forth.
Well, there's some history of that. Yes. You know, Pembroke Beach and Buckrow Beach, excuse me, and in Virginia Beach, there's some challenges. And like I just mentioned, you know, going back to 1988. But if you're just going out there as your family, you going out with your kids and my kids, they're not gonna trip. You know, if you go and you look like your family. Virginia Beach, state of Virginia is very serious about it. If it looks like it's going to be wild, they're going to shut that stuff down real quick. They shutting it down real quick. All right, let's move on. We've been rolling today. So what else we got? What else we got in our minds? So let's talk about.
Wait, there's one thing that I did want to talk about that actually was not on the docket because it just happened in Orlando, and that is the fact that a 14-year-old African-American boy died at Icon Park here in Orlando. He fell from a free fall ride, fell 435 feet. You know, let me just pull up the story real quick so that I can kind of go into it with everybody because it's such a tragic story. And he was a football player, so he was a bigger kid. And the park ride guy, the guy who puts everybody in, actually said that, you know, I've secured you in. The boy gets halfway up. He's feeling that it's shaking and moving. And he's looking to his friends from side to side saying, yo, this thing is moving. I do not feel safe. Yo, if I fall out, tell my mom and dad that I love them. And then it releases and he falls 435 feet from Icon Park's ride.
That's so sad. I'm not a real big roller coaster guy. I'm not gonna say I don't ride roller coasters, but you know, I just don't feel. And you know, I'm a big guy too, so it's just like one of them things, man. That thrill is not like it used to be. Where I just had to go and be, you know. And so R.I.P. to his families. Make sure we get his name out there. We want to make sure we acknowledge him by name. But that's sad news.
Yes, his name is actually, hold on, I have his name right here. His name is Tyree Sampson, and he was just 14. And to have a 14-year-old child basically say, I know something isn't right. Like, I don't feel safe. And the rider wasn't one that buckles. It's one where the thing pulls down. And if you're not a fat person, but if you're a big dude, it don't always click on the first click. Sometimes it has to come and click you in. So
you definitely got to feel that real strong click. You know, and here's the other thing, and I hope this wasn't the case, but customer service, man, is becoming so. And I bring this up because whoever was that ride operator at that moment, did they do all of their checks, right, and made sure?
That's when they found out that the guy, the safety guy, had lied. And that's what is coming out now, that he had lied and said he had done a double check, but guilt, of course, got to him, and he admitted, like, I didn't really do a 100% check. But I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for other people, and I feel bad for the customer service people, because once y'all, and I mean everybody, not just black people, y'all came out of quarantine, y'all don't know how to act with customer service people. Y'all treat them any kind of way and wonder why they're not super nice to you, especially y'all in the airport. There was a fight at the Southwest gate the other day. A guy got angry because he got pulled off a flight because he was drunk. He punched the Southwest gate agent in the face.
The Southwest is like just a step above Spirit. It's just a step above Spirit. You know, my pops is coming in for a couple of weeks, and I said, hey pops, you know, he's in Phoenix, and Phoenix Southwest is a hub for Phoenix. I said, hey, what flight? Where airline you want to fly? He said, anything but Southwest. My pop's 70 plus years old. He's like, man, I'm not dealing with it now. So yeah. But I think
about Spirit and Southwest, it depends on where you're flying to. For example, with Spirit, if you're flying anywhere to Miami, it's going to be bad. Or going to Las Vegas, it's going to be bad. We're going to basic cities, like my flight to St. Louis, it was super easy. Staff nice. They didn't care when I slipped and fell on the ice and bruised up my arm and hip. I fell. Like feet in the air, purse back this way. Somebody had to catch my phone.
You had them little cute shoes on, didn't you? Going out there.
Sneakers. I had on
Oh wow.
sneakers.
Wow.
I fell, and everybody's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Hold on, I don't know."
How much you really might check for? Let me see how hurt I am.
I wrote Spirit. Do you think they've contacted me? That was on my birthday on February 26th, and no one has contacted me or reached out or anything.
You gotta go on social media. You gotta blow them up.
I'm about
Hashtag
to.
hashtag my neck and my back.
My neck in my
Hashtag my
back.
neck and my back. All right, let's move on. I want to get into this story about
Bozama? Buzama?
Bozama. Get her. Here's what you gonna get her name right before we do that story. All
Say
right,
it
so
again.
Bozama. What?
Bozama.
Bozama. We gonna get to that. But I want to talk about BNC. So the Black News Channel, is a channel that a few of us were watching. the black the Black News Channel, was up there on the dial somewhere, and
You don't even know what channel it's on.
it was up there somewhere.
Okay.
And so let's get the jokes out of here. But see, here's the thing: when I first heard about the Black News Channel, I don't know, 3 years ago, roundabout, and I saw who was behind it. It's Shad Khan, I believe is his name, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Was the primary investor, whereas if it started with 60 million, he probably put up 50. So he was pretty much everybody else is going to listen to him. Now, it was an idea of J.C. Watts, former congressman from Oklahoma, former football player from Oklahoma, Republican, which kind of first put my radar up here a little bit. I said, okay. And then I started to look at the leadership. Half the leadership was white for the Black News Channel. I said, okay. Once again, my antennas went up. Once they came on the air, I said, this is not bad. You had Mark Lamont Hill and Charles Blow, and I forgot the other, Sharon Reed used to be on air here in Atlanta.
And then Mike
Hill. Hill, I think his last name is. He was on there. And so, and here's the thing. I listened the other day to Roland Martin. Roland Martin gave a masterclass on his show on what happened. And everything he said from my experiences was absolutely true. Their deal with all the cable outlets is they got no money for subscriptions. So anybody who understands the cable business is that these stations, the reason, the ESPNs and CNNs and Fox News and all of these stations, they negotiate carriage fees. So basically it's the same thing that you see now, just on a different level with the Netflix. The reason why Dave Chappelle got $50 million because they know you give Dave $50 million, he's going to bring in people who are going to subscribe to Netflix just because of him. That's the same model that's been in the cable business for a long time, just a little bit different, right? So the monies that were coming in that ESPN will get a lot of, and Fox will get a lot of, and CNN will get a lot of, they were getting none of it. So then we're getting none of it, which is not a surprise. You're a 2 or 3 year old network. They were getting money by whatever advertising they're going to get. Well, we already know that fight has been going on forever, that black channels do not get adequate amounts of advertising dollars. And they always use the different metrics that are out there, viewership, blah, 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 blah. But then, like we just ran down, Charles Blow, who came from MSNBC. Mark Lamont Hill used to be a veteran on various platforms. Sharon Reed. All of these people that they hired, they didn't bring in some kid fresh out of college.
They didn't bring in no bums. They didn't bring in bums or the white, what was it? The white network they just shut down. One American News Network. Okay. That was all new faces. They shut that down after 2 years. They were like, no, we're okay.
Right, because they got a hill, they got quite a hill to climb. But in the Black News Channel, they brought in these faces and thought those faces were going to be the draw. Here's the thing: if we don't know where to find you, and you don't have any effective digital marketing, and they, and what happens is that, and here's, Kid, we're gonna have we're gonna do a separate podcast that's gonna be about the business side of what we know. Because, people think we just in here laughing and joking all week and everything, but, it's 40 years of this in this screen right now.
We have jobs. Like, we have real jobs.
This ain't paying the bills. So
we have 2 mortgages.
yeah,
This
right,
is
right,
not,
right. So,
this is
but
fun.
when I looked at BNC and said, I know how that works. That's why
Yeah.
you turn on BNC and you see the commercial with selling the after car insurance when your car is out of its warranty and Ice Cube or Ice T is selling you and drop. That stuff is the people who go to those channels and they pay whatever they're gonna pay, and they ain't paying top dollar for that stuff. But
No.
the consumer packing goods, all these type of companies, they're not paying. You're not seeing no Dove commercials and Toyota commercials and all those major advertisers that are on a BNC. And so
No.
the first story came out that he actually, not only did they shut the network down just 2 days ago on Friday, but they ain't even cut their last checks yet.
No.
He
And
ain't
here's
paid
what's
the people for the hours they
really
didn't work.
interesting. Black News Network has a YouTube channel. Hold on. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. Black News Network has a YouTube channel. YouTube channels with names like that should do extremely well. They've been up for how many years, you say? 2, 3 years?
About 2 or 3 years, not long.
They've only amassed 137,000 followers. And to some people, that may seem like a lot. To me and Miguel, that's nothing. That's penny in a bucket. That's what a regular YouTuber gets after 2 to 3 years of really working and grinding.
Right.
And
Right,
that's
right.
what they get.
Right.
I mean, Tasha K has 1 million followers, and
Right.
and Black News Network could only get 137,000 followers.
Because here's the thing, and here's the masterclass part of this conversation. All us old heads, and I say us, even though I don't move like an old head, all us old heads who got businesses and we want to run it the way we did 15 years ago. Hey, I'm just gonna go to the local radio station and I'm gonna buy some ads, and that's what's gonna get it going. No, you got to have a hybrid model. And BNC did not have a hybrid model. They had no social media presence. They were not in the and here's the ironic thing of it. They had their highest ratings ever this past week with the SCOTUS confirmation hearings. The highest ratings ever just passed this past week, and then they didn't make it through the week.
According to their YouTube videos,
I'm talking about the TV ratings. The TV ratings were good, but once again, they didn't repurpose that content on digital, so they never were in the conversation. Right? They never really got into the conversation.
I mean, I've gotten more views than them on my YouTube channel. Like I'm looking at this now, and it's almost upsetting. And again, Black News Network, I know you guys aren't watching it. I wish me and Miguel could have reached out a while ago and like, we can help you all fix this, because this don't make no sense. This is, I'm not sure if you guys hired somebody fresh out of college who just, told you they knew digital marketing and didn't know, but it just shouldn't have gone like this. And also, I would have loved to hear, because even though these people have their own like show, who are the producers? What's the content you all are pulling in? Are we just pulling in the best of Black news? Are we pulling in the best of the best, the newcomers, maybe a little bit of entertainment, maybe a little bit of dirt, so that it can switch up and then translate? I feel like they were just trying to make it all positive all the time. And that's not realistic. That's not realistic.
The content wasn't bad at all. I still didn't trust the content. I really was concerned about it being a platform that was going to start getting some traction, and then they were going to start because they were going to start putting a whole bunch of Black conservatives on there, which that's a different conversation. But the music, you can let your little lip, you can tighten your lip up all you want. You can tighten up your lip
so much.
I don't hate y'all. Y'all just think y'all slick. Y'all Black conservatives think y'all better than us. But that's a different conversation.
Wait, no, not now. We're in the door. Better than who? Who do we think we're better than?
I don't know, because every time you try to have a conversation with a Black conservative, they get very condescending, and all of a sudden it's like, y'all Negroes don't know what y'all
about what? So you're doing that Democratic thing? We just make generalizations. So
no,
I need to be
you name it. You name it. Education, politics, business. What you want to do? The freaking shot. Every Black folks are stupid because they're getting the vaccine.
The vaccine. Now that's not a conservative thing because some of y'all Negroes is crazy.
No, it is, but it's not an either or. That's an and, because there's a lot of Hotep lights that out here. That's a whole different. Out here, it's a whole different conversation.
I'll have sex with a girl without a condom on, but getting the vaccine, that's dangerous. Like, really? That's your response? Stop it. Anyway, but I hope that instead of Black News Network shutting down 100%, they have a meeting. And again, don't let me get too much wine and then reach out to Khan myself and say, sir, we can fix this. You just need to give us an opportunity. But
I don't want no part of that singing shit. It's done.
But I hope they can repurpose YouTube and online. Okay, you can't be a network on TV. Nobody can find y'all anywhere. No one's gonna notice.
Yeah, and
don't stop.
That's the thing. It's interesting that you said that because it's one thing Roland said, and here's the funny thing: people who let me just here's a secret. Roland Martin blocked me on Twitter 10 years ago, so it ain't like Roland's my man.
I remember that.
So, but here's the thing: Roland was right with this. They did not have a digital strategy at all.
No.
At all. And there's other people in the space. I look at what Revolt TV is doing. Revolt.
Yes.
Revolt just moved their whole news operation to the Atlanta market about a month ago. Shout out to my man Detavio.
And I know you hate to mention this person, but Vlad TV. I know he's not black, but he's managed to mass a following and have a whole network on YouTube. That's pretty good.
Here's the thing. If you guys are out there and you want me and Key to help you fix some of these problems, y'all go ahead and email me, info@LloydMediaGroup.net. Because we can fix it. Because here's the thing. You look at, I watched what TV One and digital, and I think it was called Digital One, whatever it was they did about 6-7 years ago. And they started buying up all of these digital platforms. And I was like, why are they doing that? So then it just made perfect sense. You buy these digital platforms, you have audiences, then you can have another place to cross promote. You can market yourself across multiple platforms and you can grow your business. So when it came down to the whole situation with, for example, Roland said on his soliloquy the other night, he said, as much as we respected his morning show he had on TV One, his show never reached more than 130,000 live views. Never got 130,000. So if you out here getting on these Rokus and saying tomorrow I'm gonna have 600,000 views and I can reach 2 million people, stop lying to people because it ain't happening. It's not happening. I can sit up here and say that this show is reaching 400 million people every day because anybody on YouTube can go watch this show if they want, or on Facebook they can watch it if they want. I'm not gonna lie to you and sit up and say we got 400 million because if not, this is what we'd be doing for full time. Point being is that BNC, the Black News Channel, never had that strategy, and I just don't understand why they went the way that they went. Now, Khan, I want to know how he made his billions of dollars because everything I see he does don't work.
Right. That's a secret in the Indian and Middle Eastern community that we're just gonna slide on by.
No, we're not. If you got some intel, you need to let us know what's going on. What? See what I'm talking about? Okay, I don't want you. I don't want nothing to happen to you and your.
Once you get your Sindor, you learn to keep secrets about the community. Once you get your red dot.
All right, time to move on. All right, so before we got, but because Khan, the Jacksonville Jaguars have sucked since he got the team. I think he owns a soccer team over in Europe, I believe. I could be wrong. But what he's done and what he did with the Black News Channel, never trusted it. I know those folks are all gonna land on their feet. Mark Lamont Hill is dope. Charles Blow is dope. They're gonna be fine. Sharon Reed is gonna be fine. She's gonna land on her feet.
I think he started this with good intentions. He doesn't seem like, and this is community, he is not like somebody who just throws his money behind anything and just does whatever with his money because this cost him money. I really think he put it behind with good intentions, and it just did not pan out the way that he would hope for. Because, what if this could have been something gigantic? It could have been something gigantic.
It was never going to be something gigantic without more money. Because here's the thing. I'm not a hater. I'm a realist. So Peacock Network, who, is owned by, the Peacock people, NBC and all that. I think I saw a number recently. They lost something like $1.7 billion last year because of the investment in programming and acquisitions and all of that. You're trying to compete in a market that, and then the other challenge you have with Black folks is that we have a real challenge in supporting our own, right? Revolt been on the air for 8-10 years, and it's just starting to get some momentum now.
Thanks to characters you never would thought would be helping him. Joe Budden, because Joe Budden is big at Revolt TV.
I know Fat Joe was there. I know Joe Budden was there. I know Fat Joe was there.
Yes, Joe Budden had his own show called State of the Culture that he ran with Remy.
I think I do. Yeah, he sure did. He did. And
they cross-promoted that on his podcast, and that's why.
Yeah, because what Revolt is doing is that they're finding people who have digital content which is already strong, and they're just putting some gas behind it. And that's something BNC didn't do. They just felt like we were going to turn on the lights and all of a sudden people are going to run to us because we're called the Black News Channel. Well, the Black News Channel is MSNBC.
Next topic.
I'm just keeping it real. That's what black folks are watching the news right now. So you got to do more than just turn on the lights and believe that it's good. All right, before we get out of here, let's talk about your girl. What's her crew? The Barbie dolls, the Barbies, or what's
Barbs? They're just called the Barbs. I'm not a Barb before you think that that's my girl. I don't listen to her. I don't like. No, I'm not even joking. I don't listen to her. I don't like Nicki Minaj. I'm not for this whole. Her whole thing. I'm not a fan of. I'm not.
All right, so don't worry about reading what she wrote because I ain't even read it all. All I know is that she crossed out some other queens of hip hop. I think it was Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion. And so the story behind this is that she's a hater trying to just get some attention. Here's the thing about me and Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj can rap.
Absolutely. Whatever I'm saying, guys, this is not negating her talent. I think she's very, very talented.
She's very
but
talented.
I also think she sucks as a person. She sucks as a person.
Yeah. You know, it's funny that it's so many people. I just can't imagine if you are Nicki Minaj or Kanye or who else utilizes just a whole array of people. These people are making so much money off this attention. That's really what it is about. It is social capital, man. It is absolutely social capital. Huh?
It's sad.
It is.
It's sad that somebody as talented as Kanye and Nicki Minaj, but I feel like Nicki's career has been messed up for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Once she got into a beef with Cardi B and kind of the powers that be chose Cardi, which I don't think is right. There could have been two women of color who were great rappers and could have been up. The powers of B made a decision. Yeah. We like Cardi, which was not fair. But then Nicki Minaj went on to make a series of poor decisions. You went on to marry a rapist, and you want everybody to get behind that. We're not getting behind that.
You're not gonna let that go.
Not even that. Then you went on to be negative towards Mariah Carey and get into a weird beef with her. She's an icon. We're not getting behind you for that.
When did she beef with Mariah Carey? I missed that.
They almost fought on the set of American Idol after doing a song together.
Oh, that's years ago. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Then you proceed to be get into a fight with Remy Ma, who is also an old head hip hop head.
And Remy Ma, they must have never really got in the same room together because Remy Ma whoop her ass. Remy Ma ain't nothing to play.
Said as much on multiple occasions.
Remy Ma ain't nothing to play with. Remy Ma was in prison for stabbing her
7 years for stabbing a friend because the friend did something, doesn't matter, but she did all 7 of them years and came out, had a hit song right out, got on Love and Hip Hop, got a whole bunch of music and songwriting stuff going on. And she wrote a diss track to Nicki back to back twice. And Nicki had no response. And that kind of ended that. But then Nicki goes on to be disrespectful to every single female rapper. You got beef with Lil' Kim. You got beef with this icon. You got beef with her. So you want all of us to get behind you, even though you don't support women. You don't like as that little picture he showed, don't support women. You don't want any women to be mentioned around you. What do you want from us?
She don't want nothing from you. You too old. She don't care about you.
Oh, I'm that person. Look at me in my house.
I'm about to say it's you, your house coat, and you. Oh baby, this old Nicki girl.
It's actually a really nice caftan, but when I'm sitting here on camera, it looked like
it looked like a straight house coat. Like you are straight up legit OG now.
Oh.
You know,
but no, you come on now. Even outside, you get what I'm saying about her.
Of course, I get what you're saying. But Nicki, we are not their market. We're not. No. And here's the thing about Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, and to some respects, Meg Thee Stallion, they're talented. Yes. So even when we sit back, some of us who are old head hip hop heads, you don't listen to a Nicki Minaj or Cardi B or Meg. Now Meg to me, it just sounds like new age JJ Fad. Her and City Girls or whoever, them ones at all. Hey, dad, and they rap real fast. You know. Yeah. But you know, they're talented. When I listen to and now I don't give a dog on who writing their rhymes, because you know us old school hip hop heads. Oh, they ain't writing their rhymes. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. When it comes down to Cardi B on a mic, is talented. Meg Thee Stallion is provocative, right? You know, and Nicki Minaj is you know, yeah, that ain't her butt and her breast and all that or whatever. You know, she's a cartoon character.
She
Uh,
is.
you know, and so it gets attention. That's what
But
we
I
in the
think that,
attention game.
and here's the thing that Nikki messed up on before we move to the "What are you watching" segment, because I got a couple things to talk about there.
Okay.
I think Nikki messed up is Nikki wanted to be considered a hardcore rapper, but she went the pop route and didn't and then want to switch back to the hip hop route, and there's not a route back for that. Cardi doesn't care. Cardi's like, whatever you write for me that's gonna be get on the radio and play radio, I'm good with. Nikki wanted to go back to being the hardcore rapper, and that's just once you did Starships, girl, it was no,
We you
no.
know, hip hop is so mainstream now, and there's so much isolated markets for stuff that you're doing. You know, we go back. We talked about Nick Cannon a couple weeks ago. Nick Cannon will go from shiny suits to Timberlands
The
to turbans, and those three audience may not never look at them shows and don't even know one show is going on the other. You know, it's you know, Nicki Minaj was in a movie, I don't know, a few years back when she played a secretary and she was a sidekick to
She
somebody.
was good in that when she played the other woman with Cameron Diaz.
Right.
I like that movie.
So I'm kind of getting past this stuff don't make sense. It makes sense to the market. The market says Cardi, just like Cardi B said in one of her rhymes recently when she said Hollywood is waiting on me. Hollywood is absolutely waiting for Cardi B. Cardi B, when she decides that she's just going to spend more time and focus more time on being an actress, if she can carry it. Now, I don't think she can ever be a lead actress, but I think she can definitely be on an ensemble cast and be funny.
She was in a Fast and Furious 9. She was in that. She had a very small role.
She had a very small role in that, and they promoted like she had a big role.
One thing I appreciate about Cardi that I think Rihanna's going to take that same route is I kind of just want to be a mom. I just want to be a mom and wife. I really don't need to be out here doing a bunch of stuff, and that's kind of going to hold her up. But that's a whole separate conversation. My brother's in here. Hi, Gary. Yes, that's my brother.
Gary hanging out with us. What's up, bro?
Yay. So now my favorite segment, the "What are you watching" segment.
So what are you watching? All right, so I got to get some graphics. Boom. What are you watching? All right, so what are you watching? On now before we get, I don't want to forget this.
About something before the show started, and I got caught up with another show that I want to talk to you about. What was the other show we were talking about before the "What are you watching"?
I don't know. I know you and all your family rattlers about to lose your minds tonight.
About what?
Ooh, I'm about to go find my family rattler family, and I'm gonna get them to come take your car. You know your
what
boy,
am I missing?
Will Packer is producing the Oscars tonight.
I don't watch the Oscars.
I don't either, but Will Packer, that's a major come up. That's a major come up. They're gonna have the Oscars about to be black as hell tonight.
Well, and Wanda Sykes is hosting. I might tune in and flip back and forth.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say that I watched is that show Master, the movie Master on Amazon Prime, starring Regina Hall.
I've seen the pro, and I love Regina Hall. I've seen the promos to that. Did you watch? Have you seen it?
I watched it.
Was it any good?
It was not. Y'all, I am pro black film. When it came on, I told my job I can't take no meetings between this time and this time because I'm about to be watching this movie.
Oh my God.
The problem with Master, when you watch it, there are too many storylines in it. There's actually a Rachel Dolezal story. There's a horror story.
What's the premise of this movie? What's the Master thing? Because that got me. What is it?
A master is actually what the names used to be of like professors and heads of hall. You didn't call them Professor so-and-so. You called them Master so-and-so. Yale just got rid of that term 2 years ago because the film is written by a Yale graduate who had a very tumultuous experience being, a black woman at a, predominantly white school.
Okay.
Because I didn't go to a PWI.
So it is about someone who is a student at a PWI or who graduated from a major PWI like Yale.
So there's 3 different storylines that never finished. It's about the first black master at the school.
Okay.
Regina Hall's character.
Okay.
Then a black girl going to the school, PWI.
Okay.
And then about a character who's pretending to be black, who's actually a white woman who's running away from her polygamous traditional family.
My head hurt trying to figure out so you follow
That's
this.
what I said. I almost threw my shoe at the screen. Like y'all got a lot of nerve. Not you just pick one storyline. You would have been fine with just the horror storyline with the young girl, or
Yeah.
the black woman being the first black master, her struggling in education, or
Mm-hmm.
the Rachel Dolezal version. Doing all
Mm-hmm.
three,
It's
it
too
was a little
much.
all over the place. It was
Yeah,
too much.
that's too much. Yeah, and I love Regina. You know, it's so funny. I love
She's
Regina
good
Hall,
in it though.
but
Regina Hall is very good in it.
I love Regina Hall. But then I was trying. It was a show that was on. It might have been on Showtime, where she and what's my man's name? Black
Don
dude,
Cheadle.
Don Cheadle. Don
Yes.
Cheadle. I
Black
started that
Monday.
Black Monday. I started that, and I haven't gone back. I can't watch all these series. You know, I got to do something besides watch TV in the evenings. So it's too many series. But that was decent. Here's the thing about me.
Yes.
I don't, you know, because Trey and I are so busy, we don't like to start any series that we're not going to enjoy together. Now, with saying that, she watched Bridgerton all by herself. And I know the new one just came out, and I'm not watching it, so I'm about to lose her because she's gonna be watching it. And then the other joint with the tall, skinny girl that was in Spider-Man,
Zendaya, Euphoria.
Euphoria. Saran was all on that, and I just was kind of like, and I started watching
My
first couple episodes.
nanny is trying to get me to watch Euphoria, which made me seem really old. She's like, Miss Kia, are you watching Euphoria? I was like, no, I'm not about to watch a bunch of young kids do drugs. Can you please go change this diaper, please? Like, I'm not about to watch, because she was about to turn it on. Like, no,
okay, Miss Kia. Okay, Miss Kia. Ooh, you sound like a. I'm just enjoying watching you get old. This is part of my life's work right now. Enjoying all that stuff. So yeah, Bridgerton. So what am I watching? So
yes,
we're trying to stay. I think you said you're not into the Power universe. We're trying to stay in the whole Force. Here's the funny thing about Force. So people who watch Power Universe, Kia doesn't watch it. So you know, so in essence, here's a quick synopsis. The whole show with Ghost, you had the dude, Dapper Dan, Dapper Dude, Omar Hardwick, you know, was the original Ghost character. His sidekick, his main man, was this really rugged, murderous white boy. That was his man. That's his boy. So the whole 6 seasons, they going back and forth. They love each other, hate each other, love each other, they hate each other. Anyway, so they decide to give the sidekick. It's like Robin getting his own show. so Robin gets his own show.
Thank you, Dijon. She said it to me.
And it's so funny because these people being so mad, man. 50 got these people so locked that they be ready to fight for 50. Force is weak. Force is like they're trying so hard to introduce, you know, the whole thing about Power is very urban centric. It's very black centric.
Yes, it's very black centric.
It's very black centric, and the white characters in that character are really supplemental characters. In Force, all the main characters are white folks and white characters they're bringing into the Force uniform. And the problem is not that they're white. The problem is that the characters are weak. The characters there's no compelling, like, I need to know what that character is going to do.
Do you know
that
why?
character is going to do. Why?
I'm so sorry, black writers, but sometimes black writers don't know how to write for white people and make them strong. We know how to make.
I don't think white writers are on this. I don't think black writers are on this because Courtney Kemp, who created the series, is no longer in the day-to-day in the writers' room. That's another problem.
And then we talked about that was an issue. Why it's gotten bad because she was like, I'm out.
She got to deal. She got to deal with Netflix, right? And so, and here's the thing: educating again. We do this for real. Stop thinking that Starz is as big as Netflix, and Starz is as big as anything. Starz is the hood.
No.
Starz is the hood of cable networks, and so it's okay for y'all to please don't believe these memes that sell you that 50 Cent is the highest grossing, most viewed black producer ever on TV. It's a lie. Stop believing these memes.
Shonda Rhimes goes to glory.
Shonda Rhimes, Ava DuVernay, Tyler Perry. There's just a whole lot of people who got claim to that. So don't get me wrong. What he's done with Starz, creating this whole community, is cool. But this ain't the best thing Banksy run. You know, we spent some time. We've watched Yellowstone recently. Yellowstone is amazing.
Yellowstone is very good. We need to get on the Yellowstone.
Yellowstone is very good. Okay, yes. and in 1883, which is a spinoff, it's a prequel to Yellowstone. Is really cool. But here's the thing that people understand: budgets matter. when you can shoot
Can't
a
say
whole
nothing but
when you can shoot a whole series in the middle of Montana in the mountains for 3 months, you think that's cheap? And you can go about going and getting
Wait, my brother said Stars is the Spirit Airlines of the network. Gary is right. Good joke,
Right.
Gary. You worked on that.
Yeah. Gary gets a writing credit today on Life Full Circle. He gets a writing credit today. It is. So we're watching that. What else are we watching right now? Oh, Bel Air.
Bel Air. I haven't gotten on Bel Air.
I haven't seen this.
Abbott Elementary is back.
Abbott Elementary is hilarious. It's hilarious. I'm about to go binge that joint in a minute. I think I'm just an episode behind. It's hilarious.
I'm trying to think. Oh, and as far as non-Black projects, the Adam Project on Netflix actually was really good, and that is starring Ryan Reynolds. I don't know if you watched it. It's actually pretty good. It's good.
Do I have a cricket? Where's my cricket joint over here?
Why are you cricketing me? You didn't like it? I
don't even know what you're talking about. See, I got to get back in chair. I'm about to cuss again on air. I don't know what this Adams Project. What you know what I am watching though. I can't even pronounce the name of it, but Samuel Jackson has a new series on Apple. Please get the name. On Apple Plus, Samuel Jackson is playing a brother who was suffering through dementia or some sort of mental issue. Alzheimer's or dementia, one of the two. And it's
the last days of Politme
Gray. We watched the first maybe 3 episodes, and it was interesting because there's some interesting, recognizable characters that are there. But it's pretty good. So that's something else we're watching right now. I don't know about you. Are you watching the news as much as we did 3 years ago? I
get my news in bites. Honestly, I get my news in bites because it's so just negative, and not negative like there's bad stuff going on, but it's just so stupid sometimes that you just go, I'm okay. And also, I hope eventually we can work with these people, but I'm a huge fan of Kev on Stage and Kev on Stage Studios on YouTube. I don't know if you check them out.
I love Kev on Stage. I'm going to tell you who's one of my favorites, and I don't know if they're affiliated. I know they work together. Tony Baker with his doggone Instagram.
Yes, they're very closely affiliated.
Oh my God.
Together. Yes.
Trace says that she'll look at me, look at my phone. She said, "Are you looking at those damn cat videos again?" Tony Baker, when he voices, man, and them cats, and I think we talked this on the show. I'm still not gonna keep on bringing it up. But Tony Baker, there is a lot of people that are doing stuff on that are doing stuff on social media that are doing very well. That's just silly stuff, and the whole stuff that's going on with TikTok and all that stuff is going on. They're fighting to keep our attention. A lot of advertising dollars are going there because when it's all said and done, whatever you're going to spend that prime time when you get home 2 to 3 hours a night in 8 to 11, that's where the advertising dollars are going. A lot of that money is going now to digital marketing because of the fact
Miguel,
that,
remember when you could skip YouTube videos? They don't let you do that often anymore.
No.
They make you watch
it. They make you watch the ads. Or that YouTube Premium. How about you try your test of your YouTube? I don't want no YouTube Premium. I
know you're like here on your phone, like, oh, can you please just say what
Can I skip this? Can I skip this? Right? Some people watch this video. Once people start watching this show more, they're gonna have that episode. We're like, man, I want to get back to the show. Digital marketing, man. God, we're gonna do a whole separate podcast, and we're gonna do some regular. We're gonna get some content together and do that regularly, because there's a lot of stuff people need to understand on how it's. Why are your face off round up? What's going on?
I think my mom was watching because she wrote me to say the Ketanji Brown Jackson is 244 years old. I think she got an issue with her phone. I don't know why she just messaged me that. But anyway,
Hey, Mama Blanche. All right, so before we get out of here, you wanted to put it at the end, so I'm gonna bring it up. We gotta talk about. We might bring up Kyrie Irving.
Oh, I don't want to do this at all.
Well, we're gonna do this now. So,
bye guys. Thanks for watching Life on Social Radio. Miguel's gonna do this by himself.
No, I'm not. Where are you going? So here's the story behind this. So for people who may not know, this is Kyrie Irving in his 1975 afro that he's been rocking because he's been bored, right? Girl, cut your light back on. So so the interesting part of this story is that we knew this was gonna happen. For people who don't know, he's not been able to play home games all year because he refused to get vaccinated.
Yep.
And that was a New York City law where if you're not vaccinated, but it just didn't make sense because if somebody was vaccinated, played for another team and came to a game in New York, they could play. But because
is that what the rule was?
That's the rule made absolutely no sense. It was not everybody who comes to New York could not participate. It was only if you were employed by a team in New York that you could not.
Technically, that makes sense.
It doesn't make sense because if I come in and I play for the Oklahoma City Thunder and I'm not vaccinated, I can still play. But because I'm not based in New York, but because Kyrie was based in New York, so Kyrie put his flag on the ground and said, "I'm gonna stick to this." Here's what we all knew: they got a new black mayor as of the first of the year, so the new black mayor could not be the one to say, "Oh, we lifting this stuff," because that'll be about basketball, about black people, and that's gonna cost them. That's political capital. Here's what happened: Major League Baseball. Mm-hmm. This ain't about Kyrie. This is about the Yankees. And this is about the Mets.
Yes.
If it was even about the Knicks, they might have moved faster. Brooklyn ain't the team that most people care. Brooklyn got the better players. But Brooklyn is not the team New York pines over all the time. But you talk about the Yankees and saying all of a sudden now my Yankees can't play. Oh, we're going to figure this out. So last week, all of a sudden, it was, I think it's time to lift this mandate. And what's the mayor's name? Is Eric something. If you can help me look that up. The mayor of New York. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He said, I'm not going to do this during basketball season per se. We're going to lift this mandate as soon as the baseball gets out of there because they had their labor strife as well. Once they lifted Eric Adams. Once they lifted their labor strife, then all of a sudden, now you're not going to get the pushback because what happened was a lot of people in New York lost their jobs over this mandate. And so if they would have lifted it because of Kyrie Irving, they would have got a whole hell of a lot of pushback. Based on Kyrie Irving. But now you lift it because it may hurt the New York Yankees. Oh, we good with that. we good with that. There's not going to be any real issues. This thing is going to keep it moving, and he's going to be ready for the playoffs, and it's going to help the NBA help the Brooklyn Nets.
So here's the bigger question. Mm-hmm. Did COVID just stop existing? Because think about how life has been.
Yeah, COVID be back in July. COVID will be back in July.
It just stopped existing because again, personally, and Miguel knows this. All churches were closed. Hindu, Catholic, Christian. Y'all gonna be sitting close and shaking hands and touch your neighbor. It was all closed down because of that. Now everything's like, oh, y'all can come back to church. Y'all don't have to wear masks in Lowe's. Y'all don't have to wear masks. They let the mask off the kids in school. Didn't even tell the parents. Them just came home and said, I don't have to wear this to school anymore. I was like, all right, is there a note coming home to me or something or an explanation?
Yeah, they at least send us, we get little emails and text messages over here in our county, in our school system. Yeah, and I said this in different conversations, until people, unless there's a major scare of sickness, they're not shutting down the economy again. No. It's really going to be a point now where it's going to be like, all right, guys, you pretty much on your own. If you sit out here and decide you're going to get sick, then we're not going to. Because here's the thing. When's the last time you seen that ticker on CNN that shows how many people done died from COVID?
It's been a while. You know what? Once the Delta variant was kind of a joke. No offense to the Delta variant.
Not the Omicron.
Omicron, that's what it's the Omicron variant. Once that was kind of like, it was a joke. Omar got that. I got that. Omar was down for 2 days, back up, fine, no issue. I didn't even have any symptoms, and most people had that. Once that happened, I think people were just like, oh, this is stupid.
Well, we just got to be careful because the Omicron variant, my understanding from the people I know in the medical community, it didn't go down into the lungs like the previous variant. And that's why people didn't get as sick. It more operated like a common cold. Now, some of the medical people I'm listening to, they're pretty much saying this is the ebbs and the flows. The ebbs and the flows says we're going to get hit again in July. And we're going to hit again in November. That's been the ebbs and flows for the last 3 years. Now, how severe it's going to be, we will see. But at this point, we will see, it's a challenge. But anyway, that's what we want to talk about. Man, let me see. Did we miss anything we want to talk about today? If not, oh well, pretty soon, you guys got to tell your friends. Tell your friends. We're going to re-air this on YouTube because we decided we were going to go to YouTube today, and we didn't. We broadcast it on Facebook. We need you guys to follow us on. Hold on. Let me follow us on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube, guys. We need y'all to because here's the thing, and here's the truth of the matter is that it's going, if we're gonna grow this thing, we're gonna grow this thing on YouTube. Facebook is cool, but Facebook likes to cheat you and don't want to really air everything. Here's now they're gonna silence our show. I shouldn't even say that. All
You
right,
said it. I
I
don't even
said
know
it.
where
Oh
you be
well.
messing with these people.
I'm telling you, somebody out there, Zuckerberg, people's out there like, he said something bad about you. Shut him down. You know, because it's funny how anytime I share this show, I can be talking about God knows whatever, and all of a sudden it's always cool. But if I talk about my show, nobody sees it. So they want me to start buying some time, and so maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see. All right, guys, we appreciate you. We appreciate you following us. As always, much love to our family. Dijon, Dijon is so consistent. We
I
appreciate you.
know. She's a great fan. We love you all. I had to
Dijon,
go run and cook dinner. It's a
Dijon,
real live show.
yeah.
Me and my house coat.
You and your house coat. Get your house coat. Go in there and send me some recipes. Shout out to my peoples, Andre, Dijon. Shout out to the noobs up in the building. What's up,
Nope.
Bird?
Getting off. Goodbye.
What's up, Bird? All right, we love you guys. We'll talk to y'all next week. Holla at y'all. Life Full Circle Radio. Peace.
Peace.